I was 21 and Bridget was 19. I was an assistant butchery manager at the local store, and Bridget worked part-time in the office whilst also attending college. She was a beautiful girl with hazel eyes and matching hair that fell down past her shoulders. One Saturday she was telling me how bored she was staying in on Saturday nights and asked me what I did in the evenings. I said not much and asked if she wanted to go out for a drink. She beamed her big smile at me and accepted. And so began another 9-month relationship. Ironically, the other lads in the store were jealous as hell because, they'd been too afraid to ask her out, thinking that she was too good for them. I suppose if I'm honest, that massaged my ego, knowing that I was dating this untouchable beauty. She wasn't just pretty though, I mean she was smart too. She was studying biological sciences. She already had a Bachelor of Arts degree and was going for a Master of Arts. We hit it off right from the start. We laughed at the same things. We both loved dancing, art, history, architecture. We often visit some of Britain's stately homes and ooh and ah at the high vaulted ceilings and chuckle at the stern faces looking down at us from the centuries old oil paintings. Sex happened between us, but although she seemed happy, I was just marking time. I often tried to avoid it or pretend I'd drunk too much to perform, and so it went on. She lived with her parents, as did I, and one week in the summer Bridget insisted that I go stay with her while her folks were away on holiday. This was what ended that relationship and any hope of ever embarking on another straight relationship. We didn't argue or fall out. It happened like this. We spent the night in her parents' bed. One morning about 5 a.m. I woke up, sat on the edge of the bed and smoked a cigarette. It was a warm night and the French windows were open and the nets were lilting back and forth in the breeze. I looked down at Bridget's naked body as she slept. She was beautiful. She had the perfect hourglass figure and firm round breasts that most men would kill to have access to. I looked down at myself and something else was fast asleep too. It was like a revelation. I felt tears come to my eyes because I knew I could never make Bridget happy. Emotionally I was already very attached to her, but my sexuality was never going to alter, and the realisation of that hit me like a bolt out of the blue. Up to that point I'd kidded myself that I could get past it and maybe even tried to believe that I was bisexual. But now I just felt like a fraud. I became very sombre, and about a month later Bridget announced that she was going to give up her university place where she was due to start at the end of the summer. She said she couldn't bear to be away from me for 3 years and would get a job in the local library. Excuse me. I was horrified that I was about to end her dream and had to get her parents on side to coerce her to go, promising I would drive the 90 miles at weekends to see her. As it turned out, we met and stayed at a hotel a few times in a town about halfway between our hometown and the university, and tried to keep up the relationship, but it always felt stilted and forced. At Christmas break she told me she'd got a confession. She'd fallen in love with a guy at uni called Lance. We both cried and kissed a lingering last kiss, and I left. Driving home, my emotions were all over the place. I suddenly burst into laughter. The thought occurred to me that she'd suddenly managed to find the Lance that was so often missing in our relationship. I felt miserable for a while, but then I plucked up the courage to phone the CHE number again. I met a guy outside a railway station in Lincoln, 30 miles away, and he took me to my first gay pub. It wasn't advertised as such, but was run by 2 lesbians, and they ran CHE discos in the upstairs rooms once a fortnight. There I met my first boyfriend, John. After our first evening of dancing and laughing together, he actually asked if he could kiss me goodnight. Of course I agreed, and what a first gay kiss that was. I swear my feet left the ground. It had taken me a long time to come out to myself, and sometimes that's the hardest part. Once I accepted my own sexuality, I just couldn't stop smiling. My life had begun.